Welcome, everybody. This is a member summit. This is all Art Storefronts members here with us today. But unlike a lot of our summits, this one's a little bit different. Typically, we get together for a big summit and then we kind of go around the wheel talking about all the sectors of the company, all the updates, everything you missed recently, do a bunch of announcements. We've got the announcement part today, but this one's actually a one-off, a special one-time event. It's not one of our usually scheduled ones like the Spring Summit, which will happen a little bit later. This one we called for a very special reason to do a little one-off announcement for you guys to bring you in on some updates to our vision for the platform, our mission for the future. So here's a quick look at what we've got scheduled for you today. We're going to start with a special announcement from Art Storefront's founder, Nick Friend, and then we'll move smoothly into a massive reveal of a new update related to that announcement, because, we don't like to just tell you about what to expect in the future. We come ready with stuff built, with software created, with tools ready to go for you. And today's that kind of day where you are going to be able to interact and engage with things you didn't even know existed at the end of today's session. So it's going to be a very exciting one. And I think altogether, these two components are going to take us into the next era of the Art Storefronts community. We're coming up on 12 years as a company, and I would imagine we're on version like 30, version 35 maybe of all our different permutations. Today, we get to that next version, version 36, the next era of the platform. So let's kick it off. Let's turn it over to Nick for an update on our vision as a company. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Taylor, thank you. Let me do the screen share and make sure that you guys can see this.
I've got it.
All set?
That's right. Looking good.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. The art world's been rocked by the existential threat of AI generated art. We've all seen it. Okay, let me just start right there. AI is everywhere. It's practically feels like it's taking over the world. We've seen it in the art world. We're seeing it, in the marketing world. We're seeing it in the business world. Everybody's talking about, self-driving cars, and there's going to be humanoid robots coming. So AI is everywhere. And of course, hold on one second. You've seen it in the headlines, right? We can't get away from it. It's in the news, it's on TV, it's everywhere. You guys have seen it on social media. You've seen it at art fairs in person. You just read some of these and it just kind of breaks your heart, how much AI art is at our local festival, people making selfie videos and showing this stuff. You look at the one on the far right, when you finally get set up at an event and look around only to find AI slop at 80% of the booths. Super frustrating. And of course, in our own community, Small Wins, you guys have seen this. We actually created an AI art discussion mega thread. You can see the number of comments, 262 comments, and there's plenty of replies to all of those comments as well, just on this topic of AI. It's been a very heated topic over the last 2 years. Opinions go all sorts of different ways. There's obviously a lot of nuance in there, but it's everywhere, right? It's out there in the world and it's in our own community. And so throughout the past 2 years, we've been watching all of this very closely. And we feel here at Art Storefronts that we've got a responsibility to take changes, in the industry, in the art market very seriously, and not be reactionary. And so we want to be the thought leaders that you can always trust, not just a company that chases headlines and reacts, to something super quick. We want to be thoughtful about what we do. So we took the time it deserves and did the market research on and off the platform and had many meetings and many discussions about it and brought our own feelings, into it as well. And we're here today because we're ready to share our decision on this. We are taking a stand on AI generated art. And we're going to get into what this means, okay? But art is and always has been human. Throughout history, art has moved our souls. It's sparked cultural and political change. It's preserved memories and moments that would have otherwise been lost historically, and given lasting form of grief, joy, anger, and love. This is something worth protecting and preserving. When AI generates art, it takes over the very act that makes creation meaningful. Anyone can describe an idea, right? In a prompt. Anybody can do that. But the magic actually happens in the making, okay, of the art, the decisions, the struggles, the discoveries that transform vision into reality, what you guys are doing every day. So, what we believe is right here. We believe AI can meaningfully assist artists, but the execution, the craft, the human touch of creating art, that is sacred and must be protected and preserved. And here's the really good news. Art buyers actually agree. Collectors are starting to ask a brand new question that never existed before. Who actually made this? Was this done by a human or was this done by a computer? Before they invest, they want to know a human is behind the work. Yet no one is stepping up to protect and preserve this. Not Instagram, not Etsy, not Saatchi Art. We will. Our mission going forward, Art Storefronts and Art Helper will be championing human artists, investing in new ways to help them connect with buyers that value authenticity. Let me tell you more. So I'm going to take the screen share off and just kind of share some a personal story about, how I relate to this. And many of you may not know this, but I've been a musician for 30 years. And like many of you, like I'm not like a professional musician. I've been in a couple of bands. I've recorded an album in my early 20s. But I'm like a hobbyist trying to write songs and do that different stuff, and I really enjoy it. I'm a very creative person, so I can relate to many of you maybe earlier in your career, or maybe some of you are in a similar spot right now and you're trying to take it all forward. But the thing is that when I sit down and write music, I don't even sit down to deliberately write the songs. They just come to me. There's that inspiration that you can't explain. And it's sort of divine, or whatever you want to call it. We don't know where this comes from, but there's something to it, and it comes out of nowhere. That is the magic right there, right? The magic is in that moment where you as humans are creating whatever it is that you're creating, okay? And that is so different from just writing it in a prompt and having an image created from scratch. There's so much in there, and I know that you guys appreciate this. This is what needs to be protected and preserved, and that's what we're going to do here. So it's like, when your hand is painting that painting, or when I see photographers like, Tim Lehman, a photographer I'm a big fan of on our platform here, another member. He's up in a tree for 8 hours to get a perfect shot of a bird, And so if you're clicking that shutter and you're painting that canvas, that's just different. That's just different. And this needs to be protected and preserved. And we're going to tell you how we're going to do that today, and have some great things to show you that are very exciting. So Taylor, with that, let me pass it back to you.
Thanks, guys. So I know that was a long time coming and much anticipated. I hope you guys are as excited as me about not just that we're saying this. That's one thing. We could have said that a year ago. We had to figure out what we mean by saying it, how to turn that into action, into tools, into things that help you, that deliver on this message. So that's what I'm going to show you now is the first phase of doing just that is ready and available right now. I'm going to show it to you. So our new mission to embrace and elevate and support human artists above all else starts today with a significant update to Art Helper. We are putting this concept into Art Helper, but I want to make it clear that what I'm about to show you is not an extension of anything Art Helper has already been before. So if you have already checked out Art Helper and you're choosing not to use it for some reason, something like that, please still pay attention. This is all new stuff. I'm not about to show you new Sparks or something like that. We are using the Art Helper application to build out meaningful action in this direction of protecting human art. So let's meet the all new Art Helper, a trusted home for human creators in the world of infinite AI content. We are expanding what Art Helper is, what it can be, into 4 pillars. The first pillar is what you know, a powerful tool set designed to assist artists in the distribution and promotion of their work, not create it for them. So this was already from the start, our shot at doing AI right, in the sense that we created a closed loop system that does not integrate your images into the overall LLM. In other words, it doesn't steal your art. It's not possible for your artwork to leave our closed loop system. But that's all just the first pillar, letting you more easily create marketing content and titles for your work and whatever you need help with to execute actually selling your art, not creating it. But we're going to expand that today to 3 new areas that have not been present in the past. The first one is to build a professional networking community for creators of human-made art, a place to do it right, to actually have networking that makes sense, that's exclusive to the art industry. We're going to pile on top of that an energizing real-time feed of artwork, discussion, critique, and art world news. So I want to hone in, before we get to that 4th option, just on these 2. Let's think about how we have addressed these 2 things, the need for a professional networking community for you guys, as well as a real-time feed that you actually love to use. What these 2 things represent is really a home for artists. Artists need a home online, and we don't think that it actually exists yet. There are issues all over the place. Facebook, I mean, we know the issues with Facebook. It's too algorithmic. It prioritizes, pissing you off, frankly. Instagram, it's good. It's image-based. That helps for artists, but it's so important for commerce, for selling your art, that it creates conflicts where you're wondering, am I behaving in a way on Instagram that is appealing to me socially, but is turning off buyers? I need to consider the buyers. It gets complicated. Then you've got Reddit, which has a lot of opportunities on it, but it's ultimately super unfocused. It's not about art. There's art communities on it, but it's not specifically for artists. And so you get all sorts of clashing. You're ramming all sorts of people together without a lot of focus, and that creates some issues there. And then you've got some other alternatives that have attempted to solve this problem, to create a targeted home for artists. But the problem is those are all being launched by people with good ideas and intentions, but not enough business acumen to sustain it. And I'm sure you guys have seen like flash in the pan artist social networks that you just remember one day like, oh, wasn't I on that thing like a year ago? How did I just completely forget about it? It's because they didn't have a team. They didn't have experts in software development to deliver new features that the members wanted. You need someone that really has a history of running really good member-based businesses like Art Storefronts to do this the right way. And that's why we think we're going to be perfect for it. So let's take a look. It's clear what is needed. Someone just had to build it. So I'd like to introduce you to the new Art Helper community. Let's go over to Art Helper. Allow me to broaden my screen here. Alrighty, so this is the Art Helper, the home screen of it at least. You come in and you see your artwork, and then you're off to, creating social posts or whatever. This is that first pillar version of Art Helper, the tool. We have a new tab here on the side, Community. Let's open that up. When we get into the community, you're going to find the first phase of us creating the dream platform for you guys, for artists, for creatives, to discover communities for every creative interest with just the right people, to create an entertaining and inspiring experience without all of the pitfalls of mass social media, where everyone from every walk, every type of business, your plumber through to, teenagers, are all slammed together. This is designed to create the dream environment for you to have a great and fun social experience that keeps you motivated, that allows you to vent to people that get it, that allows you to collaborate with people in your niche. What we've got here is a series of communities that we've already made at launch. So the way to think about this is that it's not one community. It is a platform to host any number of communities, hundreds of communities, themed around every creative discipline and interest you can imagine, every niche, everything imaginable within the art world. So if I go to view all, I can see all of the communities that already exist. And inside each of these communities are vibrant discussions on that topic. So it's all segmented towards what do you want to discuss? What do you want to learn about? What do you want to chat about? You find the matching community for that. And then you have basically like the Small Wins Facebook group, but just about that one topic. So for example, you can come into the art fairs one because we're coming up on spring. And this is where you can post and chat about art fairs in particular. You can see I got it started myself here with an official question thread. Ask art fairs anything, ask the community. You can get in here and comment with your own question. You can see other questions people have left and provide your own expertise and bring some of your experience and value to the front. Or you can create a new post in this community that'll only be seen by the people looking at the art fairs community, not just the general internet at broad. We can create a specific art fairs post to ask a question, to show a breakthrough you've had with your booth design, to complain about some kind of contract issue, or it got rained out, or they didn't tell me that I technically need the thing to be white instead of black on the tent, and all this type of stuff. And it's all findable. It's all pushed together here in a way where you can just zip to the value, engage with what you want, upvote the stuff that's helpful, get involved in the conversation, and then pop back out and do something else. Have another experience in here. We've got communities that are designed for you to post works in progress to get feedback. And that's a vulnerable thing to do on Reddit, where anyone in the world can see it, including people that have no creative intuition in their body at all. It's vulnerable to do that, but we're here in the art helper community, and I think you'll enjoy how this goes a little bit better. You've got something finished, why not post it in the art critique community? So let me do that right now to just show you actually submitting something here. I can click new post. I can say I want to do an image post because I want to show people the artwork, and then I can add images. And this is really handy because it's built in Art Helper. We have your images. You can click select from existing and see your overall Art Helper library of artwork. So that can help you cut some corners here or there and not have to go find files again. So let's say we select this image. We say, I'm second guessing how dark I made the trees in the foreground. What do you guys think? Does it work? Post. And now I've posted into the art critique community and people are able to comment on it. If I change my mind, I can just remove my post. And we go back to the list of communities and we keep looking. What else do we want to do in here? What else seems fun? Art news. Let me just check in and see if there's anything relevant. Oh, there is. AI generated art can't be copyrighted after the Supreme Court declines to review the rule. Interesting. You can't copyright AI art. That's going to be useful for human artists going forward. We pop back out. What else do we want to do? Well, I'm a photographer. Let's pop into the photography community and see what's going on in here. We've got a post. What shoots do you have planned? Got anything good? We've got Saskia traveling to the Netherlands for a tulip shoot. That's perfect. Let me add a comment to this thread. I'm planning on finally making it over to Maine this fall to shoot the colors. Can't wait. Does anyone have any specific spots I should prioritize while I'm there? Let's drop it in. Let's give Saskia an upvote for participating here. And I'm just freely moving through the things that interest me. leaving some comments, posting some threads. I'll be notified in the notifications here if anyone replies to my comments or my threads so that I can keep up with the conversation, especially important if I asked for advice and I want to make sure that I catch the advice. We'll also send you an email roundup of replies to your threads so that you have that way of seeing it as well. So all of that is within the communities view there, but I'm back on the home page now of the community. And I can see here trending posts, trending posts. So in addition to digging into specific communities, you can also do the sit back and scroll thing in here as well, except what you're scrolling on is going to be a lot more relevant and enjoyable than in any other app because it's all trending posts within this platform. So that means that you'll be seeing stuff regardless of which community they were posted in that other users are engaging with. So you can scroll down here and then no longer do you have to make that decision, which community do I want to view? This will help you just dig through what's popular on this platform today. Are there any conversations I'm going to want to get involved in? We're going to take this to the next level from what you've seen here next week or so. In the near future, we will be adding this button. You won't be able to see this button. Only I can see this button. I'm kind of the wizard with this application, but you won't see this create community button for another week or so. We want to give you guys a chance to get acclimated, find the communities you like, get used to posting, contributing, and getting the advice you want. And then we're going to turn on the ability for you to create communities too. And this means you can create a full community like this. You can moderate it yourself. You can set the rules. You can choose which content stays or goes. You can invite your friends to it. You can create a community just for you and 3 other people. If you're close collaborators locally, you can create a private community where you guys can just collaborate privately there. You can create a public community for a really like drilled down niche that you and some other couple dozen people have, but that we didn't think of when we made these starter communities. You will be able to grow this platform in whatever direction you want by creating your own communities. Let's take a breather. That's a lot. There is a second piece to this. In addition to the community build, we have also added a new home button, home. If I go to home, what we're going to see here is a feed that's more reminiscent of Instagram. And that's a little bit of what's going on here. So over in the home, this is where you can post, not in a community. This has nothing to do with a specific community, but just socially to share your art in front of all of the users of Art Helper. It's not for discussion necessarily. It's not posted into a specific community. It's like posting on Instagram where you're just putting it out in the world because you want to tell a story, because you want to network with other artists, you want to find your people and connect with them. It's like Instagram without the pressure to be serving the 2 minds of, I also need to treat this as the face of my business at all times. I can't go off on a hobby thing. I got to stay super locked in because it's my business. So that means we've built a lot of the social mechanics you're going to expect to see here. Like we've got this beautiful piece by Indra, or actually her father, I think. So I can click onto Indra's profile here in Art Helper. I can see all of her work uploaded and I can follow her. Now, when I'm viewing my home feed, if I go to the following tab, I can see work just by the people that I'm following. So now I can start to build a social network, curating who I want to keep up with whenever they have something to share. I can look at the overall community. I can go to trending if I want to, or I can just keep that locked down. Don't show me anything outside my followers. I just want to see what my friends are up to. And that's what the following tab is for. Altogether, this is phase 0.5. This is a starting point for something we are investing in. So I hope it excites you as much as me that on day 0 of showing this to you, I think it's pretty compelling. And I think it's kind of the home that we've all needed. And we've known for years kind of roughly what this would look like. And we found the right way to do it now to actually build it. So that is the middle two. I'm going to size this down again. Pillars of Art Helper. But we still have one more. Let's get into the fourth one. What could the fourth one be with all of that already done? We'll take a look at the fourth one here. There's one more pillar left, and this is where we really hone in on Nick's vision, that new mission for the company. Art Helper is also going to become a global human artist directory that art buyers can trust, with curated galleries of only human-made art. A global human artist directory that art buyers can trust. This is new territory for us. We're going to be working on helping you get further with art buyers. We're wrapping it up in something we're calling the human-made art verification, the new global standard for trust in an increasingly artificial world. So what this is a new way to become verified and assert the authenticity and legitimacy of your process in the eyes of art buyers and collectors. We've got Matt here. Matt's a member of our team. He's an engineer on our team, a great software developer, and a great digital artist. We've got he's the everything package for an art storefronts employee. So I'm going to use Matt throughout some examples for you so you can see the implications of this situation. So back on the community, you may have noticed on one of my posts, human-made art. You may have also noticed I have a green ring around my avatar. This is what we're talking about here. This is a little separate from the community, but it's visible in the community, verified to create art using an authentic human process. So with this verification, it's going to add badging that boosts your credibility and your legitimacy across the internet. It starts with your appearance within the Art Helper community, but it's going to go beyond that because we want to make sure you're reassuring skeptical collectors, no matter where they're finding you, that your work is the real deal. So let's zoom out again here. Take a look at Matt's Art Storefronts website. I'm going to load the website from scratch. See if you notice anything. Do it again. Let's look at the top right of his webpage. The human-made verification is an embeddable badge that you can put on any website, including your Art Storefronts website. The way we've designed it so that it's there, but out of the way, is that it appears on page load, and I'm refreshing the page every time it pops like that just to repeatedly show you. But otherwise, it does a little animation. It lets the visitor know, hey, there's something here you might want to check out. But then it minimizes down to this verified check mark here. And the user can always pop over and take a look at what this is. And then if they click on it, it will open up your official verified listing. And we're going to work to make this directory the global standard for verifying human processes in the art industry. And we're not going to stop until art buyers broadly understand that presence in this directory is the end of the discussion. It is an official indexing of human artists, not AI artists. So now we can see Matt's verification listing here straight from his website. So anyone with any doubt can not only just see there's an image here, anyone could put an image on their website, but they can actually see the third-party listing. This is really important to build credibility. It's important that this verification isn't on your own website. It needs to be indexed by a third party responsible for verifying you. And that's what we've built with this system. Furthermore, this is what the index looks like from the collector perspective. Just the two of us so far. We're just getting things going here. But this shows you a little bit about what the collector experience will be if they're looking for browsing human art, verified artists. So they can come here and see everyone that's been verified. They can search artists by name to make sure that someone that they came across at an art fair is in here. They can look them up by name, and then they can access the whole portfolio by clicking through here. We're not done yet. In addition to helping you prove your legitimacy to buyers today and in the future, we're also going to work to actually get you in front of the art buyers that are searching for authenticity. So if I go back to any page of Art Helper, wherever, you can see in the navigation menu here the option for art. This is our new gallery where we'll be showcasing all of the fantastic art that has been uploaded to Art Helper. And the default is going to sort this page by human-made art only. This can be toggled off, but it starts on so that it only shows art from artists like Matt with a human process. We're taking that a little bit further as well. We've got an Instagram going. So for the first time, we're going to be working with venues like our own curated gallery, like our own Instagram, to actually elevate your art for you, to give you extra visibility beyond what you can get on your own, all wrapped up in this theme that collectors are telling us in our research they want, which is give me more confidence, help me cut out all the crap. Like, I don't even want to get on Etsy anymore. It's hard for me to find my way through. That's today, where, as always, AI art is the ugliest it's ever going to be. This problem is only going to get worse as it's harder to tell the difference, and you need other methods of verifying the legitimacy of artwork. So we're planting a flag here early. I think this is only going to become more and more relevant. Something else I wanted to show you. Back on that art page here with the human-made art, you may have noticed right here, human artist spotlight. I'm going to click that. We've got Matt, of course. It's Matt for everything for this demo. We're running a new human artist spotlight series where we'll pull our team, our curation team will pull like once a week an artist out of the verified users and put them on this huge billboard on Art Helper as the spotlighted artist of the week. We'll tell the story a little bit, showcase some artwork, and then it'll build up this section of past spotlights. So if you make the spotlight, you'll be up for a week or so, get all of that attention, and then also you'll retire down here into the past spotlights where you still have a chance to be discovered as well. We can't guarantee you'll be chosen for the spotlight in any type of cadence. We haven't really thought about that yet, but we're going to be plucking people all the time to throw into this interface, into this layout, so that art buyers have different ways to discover artists they love. They've got the spotlight, they've got the search, they've got the toggle, they've got the galleries, they've got the Instagram, all pulling them in to say, if you were looking for a way to make this easier and less of an ugly experience, a self-doubt experience, you found the place. It's with Art Helper and the human-made art mission. Something else that I think is pretty cool is that you will also, if your art is verified, and we know that you have a human process, you will also be able to help shape the future of this platform. This is actually a bigger deal than it sounds. Let me double click on this. Our vision for the Art Helper community is not one in which we make every decision for you. I think I mentioned that when I was saying we're adding the ability to create your own communities. That spirit of handing over the keys to something amazing to the artist community so that you can make what you want of it is going to continue through to major decision making to do with all of this, with the human-made art verification, with the Art Helper platform and the communities. Verified users, because we specifically want the input of human artists, will be eligible to participate in all sorts of polls that help us shape the future. This is just like a mock-up here of what it'll look like. Should we add a job board to Art Helper? Should we have this kind of community? Should we give you the ability to do this or that? Maybe there's like a gray area with a certain artist that's getting really popular and you guys have doubts about their process, where it's like, are we sure that their art isn't AI generated? Perhaps we pose it to the community. Should they stay or go? We're doing this together in a way, in a structure we never have with anything else, because this really is about making sure that this is what you guys need it to be, what you want it to be, what you dreamed of existing. In addition to shaping the future of the platform, we're also saving some private communities for those verified users. So you might see things like, where have I got them here? The Human Made Art Society, if we want to just chat with other verified users, another way to cut down on the noise. And then we'll have the Art Helper Advisory Board community. This is where those polls are going to be posted that I told you about. Overall, we're trying to blow this up into a serious movement that can affect artists across the board on and off art storefronts. This is much bigger than art storefronts. We want this to become a global brand mission. We want this verification to be extremely meaningful in the eyes of art collectors. So you're going to see us doing a lot of fun stuff as well. We did the Instagram like I showed you. We're also going to do a merch store. Super fun. We all had a lot of fun making our own merch store for this, but we're pretty serious about this stuff, especially with like this one here, art booth signage. If you guys are into this and want it, we want to provide you with signage, small things that you can put in your art booth to demonstrate to passersby that your work is not created with AI. We think it's super important, especially in that local event context, that visitors of your booth understand the labor that went into what they're seeing in front of them, because that's being threatened by the invasion of AI artists into those spaces. So fun stuff for sure to support the mission. Cute stuff, stickers to put on your car to support this idea here, and then also some practical stuff. Like I said, with this booth sign, I think that's the real deal there too. All right, so the Art Helper community overall, it's about participating in dozens of thriving artist communities, maybe some that you've made yourself, discussion, critique, collaboration, growing. We have a community in there just designed to match up with collaborators for collaborative campaigns. This is such a solution to so many different playbooks on the art storefront side. Like we're coaching you guys on finding collaborators, like the marketing potential of collaborating with an artist that has a bigger audience than you. But then you ask us like, so who should I collaborate with? And it's like, well, you got to look it up, look it up on Instagram. You got to know yourself here. Now, talk about a new solve. We have a community where the whole point is to post, hey guys, I'm open to doing this. Anyone like my stuff? Are we in the same niche? Do you see opportunity collaborating with me? And you can get comments saying, yeah, I actually work in the same type of niche, but from a different angle. That could be interesting. For the first time, we have a way to centralize a lot of these solutions to some of our playbooks. So I'm pretty excited about that. Soon you'll be able to create your own communities. Like I mentioned, that's going to be huge. It's about networking, but it's also about just enjoying a real-time feed of entertaining social content that you can curate. It's free from Meta's algorithms. There's a lot of just like, show me the best stuff. Don't get in my way. There's not ads. It's the good version of what you want to be scrolling on when you have some time on the couch. I want to talk about our approach to funding this and keeping it going, because what we've built here is essentially Reddit and Instagram and gallery software, all interacting, all interconnected. It's complex software. It's pretty costly, but we really believe in it. And if it's of value to the artist community, we want to pour in more and more investment into this. We want to hire, we want to build out teams to better support these things I've shown you today. But we're going to need your help to make that all happen. So let's talk about our approach to funding this. The Art Helper community, everything I showed you, interacting inside the communities, creating your own, the feed and following, all of that is completely free. And that's free, not like free for Art Helper Pro users. Free for anyone with any Art Helper account, including a free Art Helper account. The human-made art verification is going to be paid at a small fee that goes directly into allowing us to pour resources into this mission. This is a bit of a side quest for us, right? This isn't like a new template on art storefronts, like something that's right in our lane. We're deviating here and we're going off on the side because we believe in this mission. And that's why we need to make sure that it makes sense to invest and pour in the resources to it. With that said, we're going to heap value on this verification beyond what I've shown you so far. Let me show you what we have planned. What do you get with the human-made art verification? What's included? First of all, it's the obvious thing. It's the headlining thing there. Your art business verified in the official human artist directory, the one we're going to be fighting to make the standard that art buyers everywhere know exists and know to check. You're also going to get the human-made art community badging and the green ring avatar in the community. That's going to elevate everything you post in there and just reconfirm the legitimacy of where your perspective is coming from. You're going to get the embeddable trust badge for your Art Storefront's website that I showed you. That's the guy here. By the way, you can customize where this thing appears. Any of the four corners, just a little side note for you, but that's going to go straight to your Art Storefront's website and help your credibility with your site visitors that you're working so hard to bring on board. As a Summit exclusive, just for fun here, you're also going to get a founding member community badge that'll display on all your posts and your comments in the community to show that you were here week one. So we're going to keep a window open for about a week where you can get this added, and then we're going to take it away forever. So we'll just have this block of founding members to be like, oh, it's kind of a cute, fun thing, I know, but it's going to be interesting in a year to be like, oh, there's someone that was there at the launch. Let's keep it going. You'll get access to all the private communities for human artists. Anything we create where you need to be verified as human to participate, you'll have access to all of those. You'll also get inclusion in all of our human art galleries. That's any filtering we do, that art page that I showed you here, where it is filtered by human-made art by default. Your art will appear there. You'll be eligible to be selected for our Human Artist Spotlight. You'll get a permanent 10% discount for life on the Human Art merch store, should you want any of that merch. And you'll get admission into the Art Helper Advisory Board. That is the voting that I talked about. We're going to turn to that advisory board to be like, you guys are the direct supporters. You're the most invested in this mission. We're at a crossroads with this decision. What do we do? We will put major decisions to a vote and go with the majority answer. Above all, this really is a mission thing. This isn't like anything we've done in the past. This is like a heartfelt mission about creating a brighter future for human artists. We know where we're at today, and we see it's going to get more complex going forward in the future. We want to start building now to position you guys, the human artists, to succeed, to communicate your authenticity to buyers that are becoming more skeptical, and make sure that where the art market heads in whatever direction to do with AI and technology has no impact on your ability to grow your art business. So to get to the pricing, overall, here's what we're rolling with for the human-made verification. It's going to be $7.99 a month, month to month, or $4.99 a month, billed annually. We'll drop the link in the chat now. You can go grab it. You can save the link for later. Either way, you will receive all of the benefits here and anything else we think of going forward. You guys are going to be the elite supporters of this whole project, of this whole vision. And so we will be sure to reward you guys with everything we can think of. So I think that's a good time to get a fresh perspective, to give my voice a rest. Patrick, what's your take on everything we have going on here? Where are you coming from all this?
Love it. Love it. And I've been loving reading the chat, and the questions are coming from every angle imaginable and every different perception imaginable. And so I want to speak to a ton of those things, right? And we start with the proverbial elephant in the room. And you guys, this notion of where you stand on AI, it's not just every artist that's asking about it, okay? It is literally every human being right now, where we are in 2026, asking the same thing. Where do you stand on AI, right? And if you listen to the internet and social media and the news and all this sensational stuff, they want to force us into camps. All of it is trying to just make this a binary decision. You're either pro AI or you're anti AI. Pick a side, grab a pitchfork, and go to war, right? There's no middle ground allowed. And if you read one side of it, it's AI is coming for everything. 52% of US workers are worried about AI's impact, or only 7% of Americans believe AI will increase jobs. You know, there's been a 9.4% drop in freelancer revenue as a result of some of these AI softwares. Therapists are reporting a surge in phobo, fear of coming obsolete. Okay. I don't know if anyone's feeling that. And then the other side of the aisle, there's always the other position that it's going to create 78 million jobs by 2030, that it's going to be a 7 trillion GDP boost. There's on Upwork 44% more per hour for AI skilled freelancers. So Mark Andreessen's got this line. I really like it. AI will not destroy jobs. It will destroy tasks. Okay. That's a big, big difference. And the reality of it all is absolutely no one knows how this thing is all going, what's going to happen, how this thing all plays out. Everything that we just showed you, everything that Taylor just presented is attempting to ask this question. So what do we do? Do we take a stand as a company? Do we take a stand as a community? Do we take a stand as an Art Storefronts family? Or do we sit on our hands and just hope for the best, right? And, you know, I think a big portion of our position, we're not anti-AI. We are pro-human created art. And there's a difference between AI that supports you and AI that substitutes for you, okay? And, you know, artists have always used tools, cameras, printers, computers, Photoshop, Lightroom, and that's all good. AI that writes your description, crafts your title, helps you organize your work, that's all in the same lineage. It's a tool in your hands. And that's what Art Helper does, and that's what Art Helper will keep doing. And you guys, we've been here before in history, okay? We've been here. From today, painting is dead, said Paul de la Roche upon seeing the daguerreotype in 1839. 1839, the camera arrives. 1850, portrait artists are out of business. Paris photo studios are doing 100,000 portraits a year. 1874, the first Impressionist exhibit opens. As a result of the camera being invented, painters were freed from realism. Painters chased light, color, emotion. The camera didn't kill art. It launched Impressionism, as well as the art of photography. It gave us Monet, Renoir, Cézanne, right? So I don't think AI is going to destroy jobs. It's going to destroy tasks. And that is a big, big difference, right? And let me tell you, you guys have a lot of tasks that need destroying. I've interviewed hundreds of thousands of artists over the years. The number that have even one employee in their business is less than 1/10 of 1%. So AI can make a profound impact on destroying the tasks and the things that you don't want to do. But yes, we need to draw a line in the sand. We are drawing the proverbial line in the sand, okay? And it's one simple rule. AI that assists creators, welcome. AI that replaces creators, not allowed. If you're using a prompt to generate everything, we're just putting our foot down and we're saying it's not allowed. And I keep the art human. Let's have real artists. Let's be human made. Let the tools help with the rest. Okay. Now, I realize that there is going to be a ton of gray area situations. We just saw thousands, hundreds of them coming up in the chat. What about this? What about that? I think someone even said that they have a bionic back. Well, they qualify, which was funny, and I got a chuckle out of that. There's going to be gray areas, you guys. Okay. We're not saying that we have this entire thing figured out. We're saying rather than sit idly by on our hands, we should probably take a stand because it could be an incredibly beneficial thing for all the artists and all the photographers that can claim that their art is human made. Okay. And so I know the gray area is coming. Who decides what stays? Who decides what goes? Who is the arbiter of justice? Okay. The reality is that no one knows how this whole thing is going to play out. I go back to this slide that I had before. No one knows what's going to happen. So the verified community decides. You vote. You set the standard. This is your community. It is your rules, and it's a mission that we are all going to be in together. It is why we had to build the town square, okay? We knew if we wanted to take a stand, we knew if we wanted to be thought leaders in this industry, that we needed to build a town square. Town square is not an easy thing to do. These are things that some of the biggest companies in the world have. Facebook and Reddit, and you could argue Pinterest. Like, these are some of the biggest social companies in the world. And let me tell you, we built one, and I have never been more excited about a feature, okay? Lost in all the nuances. For those that have been here, Taylor said we've been around 12 years. Some of you guys have been with us for 12 years. We actually had a town square. It was forum software way back in the day. And the problem is the technology became obsolete. So we did what everyone else did. We moved to Facebook, and it served us well for a time. But we're now bringing this home to the town square, okay? And many of you have been with us for years, okay? you could say of small wins, of office hours, even, it was one room for every level, you guys. It was I have this analogy in my head of like a 17th century frontier schoolhouse, right? And there was one teacher inside of the schoolhouse, and kindergarten through 12th graders are all in there, slammed into one tiny room, learning, interacting, seeking help, entertainment, companionship, all in the same place. And you know what? That works okay for a time. Office hours was groundbreaking when we had it. No one else in the industry was doing that for artists and photographers, but we've outgrown it. Okay. We need a place for everyone. Artists, photographers, creatives of all stripes, all levels, all revenue levels, already in the chat. I saw, can we have one for textiles? What about this type of photography? What about artists that are in Europe? What about in other languages? You know, we need to be able to separate into channels and all different levels of marketing sophistication, all different levels of social media sophistication, one place to hang out, to mingle, to grow, to get entertained, and to get real value. We have needed this for so long, you guys. We have needed it for so long. And let me tell you, the other ones that are out there are full of spam, have become cesspools of negativity, are just depressing. I was going back and forth with someone in here talking about Flickr and how rad Flickr was early back in the day. We feel that too. We're like, we have got to recapture that vibe. We've got to come back. So guys, that is where this thing is. There were so many questions. What about this? What about where it's going? What about that? Do we have to go and get that? What is the feature going to have this? Can I move it? Guys, this is what we've got. We've got a tiny little foundational layer of working software, and it's working awesome. But you guys are the founding members of this, okay? The Art Storefronts family, those of us that are on this call, those that are going to join, you are the founding members of this town square, and the culture starts with you, okay? Every post, every vote, every conversation shapes what this thing is going to become. We think it can be massive. Yes, we think it will be important for artists and photographers. Yes, we think buyers of all stripes are going to take notice and get fired up and get excited about the fact that there is a badge that verifies that real humans created art, to be able to rail against what's coming in AI. And I think that's all extremely exciting, okay? So this isn't something we're building for you. It's something we're building with you. And we can't wait for you to just come along with us in the journey and see where this thing goes. Okay, we don't have everything figured out. We need your input. We need to see what you guys want, what directions that we can take. But we absolutely believe that now is the time to take a stand. Now is the time to draw a line in the sand. And we think it is going to be a lightning rod, okay, for other creators that are out in the industry that are terrified about AI and all these AI creations. So this is us taking a stand, and we want you along for the journey. Taylor, back to you.
Thanks, Pat. Nick, you have anything to add as we work towards wrapping it up here?
Yeah, aside from the fact that when the robots find out that we took a stand, you know, I just want everybody to know I'm not suicidal. You know, I want to be alive, but maybe we'll go down in the history books as the one larger company in the space that decided to take a stand on this and do this. And you know, like as Patrick was talking, as you were talking, I just think that there's a couple of other comments that I'll say is like, have you guys not noticed when you're on your Instagram feed or any sort of feed on any other, I don't know if any of you guys are on DeviantArt or have ever played with that in the past, or you were on Flickr or 500px or any of these other things, but these platforms are getting taken over by slop. I mean, slop is like AI slop is everywhere. And it's like, it's so easy to produce this slop that it's just everywhere. And it's just polluting the feeds, polluting everything. And so the Art Helper feed is not going to have slop, guys. There's none. Okay. There's not going to be any. Now let me asterisk that for a second. Okay. This is it. As Taylor said, this is a V version 0.5, right? So like all of our filtering is not going to be perfect yet. Okay. And there's going to be gray areas too. I'll talk about that. So, but we're going to be prioritizing, the filtering and all of that. So that the slop is out. And so that way, when you guys are on there and when consumers are on there, because I'm seeing people in the chat and they're like, hey, what about, selling art? I want to sell more art. It's like, you got to read between the lines here and understand what this is. This is going to be the biggest town square, in the world. Okay. And consumers will be going to this site. They already are, guys. if you didn't know that already, that art directory has been there. The artist directory on Art Helper has been there for a couple of months now since we last announced it. And consumers are going there every single day, looking at profiles and scrolling through the art and all that stuff. There's a lot of engagement. Those of you who have uploaded your images, you may have received a like here or there, and some more than that. But this is a really big deal. There needs to be a directory of artists globally that are creating human-made art that consumers can go to and go, you know what, I'm going there because I know that's where they're verified. And ironically, we have human beings behind the verification. Okay, it's not just like automated. There's human beings behind the verification. Now back to the gray area aspect that Patrick was talking about. There's going to be total gray area where it's like, well, I painted the image, but then I use AI after the fact, or I photographed it and I use AI after the fact, and so there's going to be some gray areas. There's going to be easy decisions. There's going to be harder decisions, but the harder decisions we're going to bring to the community. So maybe that person's profile gets temporarily taken down. Like you guys have, many of you, unfortunately, and us as well, have gotten your page temporarily taken down by Instagram or Facebook, where they're
no recourse, no explanation, no email.
Yeah, no explanation. And then they just randomly put it back on, right? But we'll temporarily, if we see that and people are reporting, that somebody, because again, we need the community to help, right? And we'll have a place to do this. But if enough people report, I think this is kind of a questionable art, we will temporarily take it down. And then we might bring it to a vote where the community can decide, hey, this is a really interesting gray area. What do we want to do? Do we want to let this person in and stay, or do we want to say no? Okay. You realize this is why we've thought this all through. Because we can't make that decision. These are very gray areas, and ultimately it's going to have to come down to a vote, and it'll happen in the forums, in the communities that Taylor showed. So there could be all sorts of discussion about it right there, for people to ultimately make a decision, just in general, I think this is it's a really big deal. If you guys have these in your booths at your trade shows, if you put it on your website, one of the things that I've seen that's bothered all you guys and people out there is when AI artists are out there and they're trying to pass themselves off as normal artists. And it's what human-made artists are saying is hey, you need to put an AI badge on that, made with AI. And you know what we're doing? We're taking control and we're putting our own badge on the human-made art, right? And you're a human-made artist. So we're not waiting for them, because that'll never happen. You can wait and you'll wait forever. And some people might do it, but most of the people won't do it. And we can't wait, right? So we got to distinguish ourselves, and we're giving you guys a way of doing it. The other thing is that you notice that the human-made logo, do you guys notice it's got hands? It says human-made and it's green. Does it remind you of anything? We kind of are dovetailing off the organic food, the same logo that's been universal. So when you see it across different types of food all over, that food is organic and there's some standards behind it. That's what we want the human-made logo to do, right? That's what we want it to do. So we encourage you guys to get it on your websites. We encourage you to say human-made artist verified, in your Instagram profile, your social profiles, put it out there so that people can understand what it is, and it drives that curiosity. But it also, at the end of the day, is another thing that drives up the perceived value of your art. If somebody's they have no idea who you are, they find you on, social media or through a search engine, and they're I don't know if did this person just create this with AI? I'm not paying $500 or $1,000 for that piece, or $10,000 for this original. I gotta know what's going on. This is unfortunately the world that we're living in. But the human verified is going to allow that to happen, on the spot, by being a third party verification for you guys, where it's they may not have ever heard, that consumer, that collector may have never heard of Art Helper. but they see it on your site and they click on it and it's going to a third-party site with a verification, just changes the conversation right there. It just changes the whole thing, for them to continue browsing, to start talking to you or to make that purchase. And so that's why it's so important that this organization of Art Helper, is constantly improving and becoming like a really respected and valued place for human made art. And that also means like some people in the chat in this session have said like, well, some people are gonna cheat the system, right? And if anybody cheats the system, we're gonna have reporting mechanisms in there, and so that they can be shut down in the same way, right? So like this is going to require like a team of people that are working on this constantly, and in addition to that, improvements in technology to be able to moderate and manage this whole site so that the quality remains, and it doesn't turn into a whole slop environment that you guys have all probably seen at this point.
Amazing. And Nick, I saw a ton of people like, we're not trying to be the arbiters of justice. We're not, that someone said like, we're going to kick people off the island. We're not the ones that are going to be kicking people off the island. It's just this notion like, I'm a social media marketing expert. And if you guys have not seen it, I've seen it, and I've seen it on multiple platforms, and the backlash towards all of this AI slop constantly being in the feed everywhere. People are sick and tired of it. And the pendulum is going to come swinging back. And we think if you guys have a way of clearly displaying what you created as human, it could end up being a massive marketing moment. So we're really excited about this.
Kind of imagine like, some of you guys like are at a local art fair and you've got this human made, little sign right there. You can get one of those little metal signs, you guys. Like, we used to have those for trusted art seller, right? Like you just get a little square, right? Like a 9x9 or an 8x8. That's all you need. And you put it up there. And you just imagine, with all the slop that's out there, like consumers actually walking around and saying like, I'm so glad, that like, I don't even know what's AI or not, but like, I know that you put the work into it. I know that you put the effort into it. Like you're a real artist. So I think it's really cool.
All right, let me hit some frequently asked questions for you guys. So I think some people are asking things about or like I could tell from the nature of your comments that I haven't made it clear. The community is a public forum for the entire art world. It is not an Art Storefronts member feature, although we'll have exclusive communities for you guys. We'll have a Small Wins community in Art Helper. That doesn't impact the Facebook group Small Wins. We'll have both. So you can chat in whichever one you like. But the overall community project where you can create communities, invite people, chat about your niches, we are inviting the world into that. That is not an Art Storefronts limited thing. So when you look at like the home art page, the art galleries, that's not like a closed loop for Art Storefronts members. We have many times more Art Helper users than Art Storefronts members. Just so you know, like the Art Helper thing is a public broad company, and the community is launching for everybody. We're starting with you guys because we know if you guys don't love it, we're not going to get anywhere. Like you guys are the ones that care about your artwork to the point that you researched, found the right solution for selling it, got through onboarding, join us in webinars live. Like if you don't care about the community concept, we know what that means, right? So we're here framing this for you first before anyone else in the world can get onto the community, specifically to make sure that we're on the right track, that you value a community space for human artists, that this entire conversation is as relevant as we feel it is. So I hope that clears up like why we're talking about this in the context of Art Storefronts members, even though the community platform will be for any artists on or off the platform overall. And I think that's where the opportunity really lies too. In when I talk about like that community based on collaborating, finding collaborators, well, it's essential that that there's many more people than just Art Storefronts members perusing that community so that you can find like the lightning connection that you're looking for. So yeah, all of that is public. Another frequently asked question we got here is about the verification process. We've been talking about like the community is going to have input on everything, but the verification is our team behind the scenes. So just to clear that up, when you go to get verified, it is our team, not like a community vote or something like that to earn your badge, to earn the Human Made Art badge. We're handling that on our side with our own internal experts. So no worries there. I had one more in mind. Let me see if I can jog my memory here. What else
Taylor,
do
while
we
you're doing
got?
that, there's a ton of people asking about like you're creating art or you're doing it in Photoshop. Yes, you guys, you're creating that. It's you. You are the artist behind it. So don't worry. We're fully aware that Photoshop and Lightroom and all of that is a part of the process.
Yep. It's really like the simplest thing is if the art was made with a prompt, it is not allowed. If it's a longer sentence than that, it's probably okay because that sentence would start with, well, I painted it or I took the photo and then we're not so worried about the and thens right now. We want to eliminate the pure slop, the generated with a prompt, not with human hands. That's the main thing we're after here.
Can I get the
Okay.
purchase link one more time, Taylor? I just want to show something really fast. Um,
Yeah, I'll show the drop down.
Yep.
can you show the drop down? Perfect.
I got it. Okay, so a lot of people missing. When you get to the checkout page here, it defaults to the month-to-month cost, but there's a drop down. You can toggle over to annual, and that'll update the pricing to an effective $4.99 a month instead of the $7.99. So you can pick of if you want to try it out or you want to commit for the year to get the lowest price. But it's just via this drop down and switch over to annual, and you're good to go. Anyone who purchased the wrong one, you want to switch, we've got you. Get in touch. We'll help you switch over. No problem. Don't worry about it. And that goes for everything to do with our store, guys. It's not like, well, you click the button, so the money's gone. Like, we're going to help you out. No worries. We'll help you get the right thing. The community. Oh, let's get to some call to action, Nick. Let's talk about this. That community that
Let's
I
do it.
showed is
Let's do
live
it.
right now. You
Yeah.
guys can open Art Helper and get in there, and we're begging you to do so. We want you to kick off this thing with a bang. We want you to be creating threads, commenting, upvoting, posting in the feed, stress testing it for us, giving us feedback on what communities should exist that you're not seeing, and help be the seed for something really special. That is the same rant I gave about how special you guys are as a segment of artists that really care about your work. We don't want the first couple thousand users to be people we don't know about their investment level with their own art or if they really care about what they're doing. We want you guys in there starting things and setting the pattern, the expectation that this is a fun and entertaining but focused and serious place for creatives and artists that's free of the worst aspects of all the other platforms. It's available right now. You open Art Helper, you only need a free account, so it's not intermixed with like the Art Helper Pro of it all. You can just grab a free Art Helper account, log in, hit the community tab, and you're in. That's it. Start posting, start commenting. Help us kick this thing off, though. I've been in there all day getting things ready and doing some starter threads I think you guys would like, but help me out. Let's build this out and kick it off today and see how high we can rack up the post count on the first day to celebrate this becoming available.
Minute this is over, I'm going to be in there answering questions, any and all. Open season.
Perfect. All righty, to wrap it up, guys, today we met the all-new Art Helper. We've expanded from the first pillar of being a tool set for you to help with your promotion into something much larger and with a real mission at the core. This is your new home for human-made art, for community, for networking, for being entertained in a feed that you actually like to use. It's also becoming the definitive global human artist directory for art buyers who are looking for authenticity, for certainty on where their work is coming from. the human-made verification, people asked me to put this back up. It includes everything we could think of as of today. You can tell by the cost, like we need the help to push our focus into this. We're not trying to make a bunch of money off of this concept here. So with that said, we're going to pile in the rewards for you guys. You are the early supporters, the founding members of this entire brand and concept. So thank you for that support and for joining us on this ride. Any last words, guys? Otherwise, we will wrap it up for today. All righty. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I will see you in the community. I'm going there right now.
And Taylor, are we leaving this on so that people can still click the link if you guys still need to check out? And Taylor, I will see you in the community, and everybody, yes. I will see you guys in the community.
Perfect.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.